Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm with Senator Tom Berryhill. How you doing, Senator?
Fantastic.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you. I might have met you before, but tell people you are the senator for District 14.
That's correct.
Okay.
Currently, I represent, the 14th Senate District, but with redistricting, as is typical every 10 years, there's always a few districts that end up being orphaned or they don't have any representative. That's the case here in Amador County. So we got together on a bipartisan deal with the Democrats. We sat down and said, everybody needs to be represented. And so this will be part of the 8th Senate District in 014, which I'll be running for.
Okay.
And so that's why they're just letting now. So now I've got the 14th and the 8th. So it's quite a district to represent.
Okay, but you're going to be a candidate here in Amador County
In 14.
All right, in the next election going around.
That's right.
Big election. Okay, well, that's good. Well, so we'll get a chance to know you. And you're a farmer?
I am a farmer. I'm still farming.
What do you farm?
Wine, grapes, and almonds in the Ceres area, and we also have a number of walnuts and almonds up in the Chico area.
Okay. Well, we can certainly relate to you, or you can certainly relate to our county then. Wine, grapes,
absolutely.
and all of that. And, of course...
a bottle a day and a can a week, and you live forever in this business. So,
right. And when you talk about almonds, that was quite a success story, because it went from maybe a can a week to now maybe people are eating about 5 cans a week.
Yeah, well, it's a fantastic nutritional product, and everybody's starting to know what the values of almonds are, and they're absolutely fantastic for you.
Okay. And I usually eat a couple of as soon as I wake up. I didn't know you were coming, but that is one of my practices. And we're going to get to some of the things that are near and dear to your heart. And I imagine as a farmer, water is a big thing, especially if we talk about your district. Let's take a minute or something, especially for these next 2 years. You have Mono County.
I've got Mono, I've got Inyo.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
That's all the backside of 395, just about. To almost a Palmdale or something to me, it seems like. And then Amador, Calaveras, and going down, name the ones that are in the 14th now.
Well, we've got part of San Joaquin, Stanislaus. We don't have Calaveras. I represented Calaveras in the Assembly a couple of years ago. But we've got Madera, Tuolumne, Stanislaus, and Fresno. In my current district.
Do you have about the most geography in California?
I'm one of the top 3. Yes, it's and for a guy that skis, fishes, and hunts, this is about as good as it gets up here. So I love this district. My dad represented this district back in the 1970s under then Governor Jerry Brown. So what goes around it comes around, I guess, in this business, and we're really enjoying it.
Okay, and why don't we take our break, and when we come back, we'll be talking more with State Senator Tom Berryhill here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Once again, Tom Slivick with Tom Berryhill. And Tom, why don't we talk about a few things now? The Senate is still, California Senate is still in session, right?
God help us, yes, we are.
Okay, I like that. It was Mark Twain that said that the only time we're safe is when they're home or something.
That's exactly right.
I think he used better words than I did. But okay, so we're in session, and yesterday there's a big thing happening now with the Affordable Care Act, formerly called Obamacare and stuff, coming into California. Of course, California was one of the first to join in and start the exchanges and going with that, but Medicare, Medi-Cal, not Medicare, Medi-Cal and is folding in with what soon? You just had some talks with that. Maybe you could help get it clear with me, because I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, we've got some. I've got some major concerns about us moving ahead so quickly, and we had a budget hearing just yesterday, and there really isn't. They don't know what it's going to cost to enact as we sit here. We do know that we don't have enough doctors, so what's going to happen in this session is we're going to end up with a big scope of practice fight, and it's going to be a big one. And we got the nurses out there that they're going to be able to expand their services. So you're going to have liability issues. We just simply don't have enough doctors to take care of everybody.
Is this where I've heard some reports that maybe optometrists will be?
Well, yeah.
Optometrists
all of a sudden could be treating diabetes. We don't know quite where it's going, and that's the scary part. We're just bullying forward blindly, and we don't know what the costs are. We do know that the costs are going to be significantly higher. We just don't know how high yet.
Okay, I had Richard Forster, who's a supervisor. You probably know him here, and we were talking about funding. Now, is the federal government funding this with California?
The federal government temporarily is going to fund this, and one of the questions that we had was, what if all of a sudden we don't get funding? Can we cut back on what our obligations are? And again, we're trying to kind of stumble through this stuff and get some answers. It's going to be a while before we find out and the smoke settles exactly how this thing settles out.
Okay, and when I was talking with Richard Forster, he was talking that he and the counties aren't quite sure what the state program might be like if it goes that way, or if a county run, what monies will come and all of this. So there's quite a lot of dust in the air.
Well, there is a lot of dust in the air, and that's part of the reason that it concerns us so much, because they really don't know. And yesterday we asked the questions, and they really couldn't answer us. So they're moving forward, and they're gonna kind of do this thing as they go. And God help us, but that's how we're doing it.
Now, I'm just going to ask you, when you say they, who do we mean? Who do you mean?
That means the other side of the aisle.
Okay, the other side of the aisle. And how many senators do we have on the Republican side?
We got 11.
11.
Of 40.
Okay. So
that would be the super minority.
All right.
We need 3 seats. We need 14 seats to be able to come back to the table and be at budget deals. And so we're looking at picking up a couple seats in 14, stopping the bleeding, and then moving on from there and hopefully getting back to where we can represent these rural areas better, because in budget deals, we were able to protect the Amador counties of the state. It's a real fight, urban against rural, and right now we're badly outmanned.
Okay. When we get into urban against rural, I think the fire tax, that stands out as a big issue, although it's probably somewhat backburnered right at the moment, maybe not for you. Why don't you tell us where that is?
Well, that was in our budget. I asked the question 2 weeks ago on where was that money being spent? Was it being on fire protection for us here?
Right.
And the answer was, it was interesting. The answer was no. About half that money is being spent in additional programs, which is unconstitutional. So we asked the auditor to get specifics for us. So that's currently happening. It's an illegal tax, we feel. I hope everybody is putting a protest when they pay that bill. I've got a house over in Sugar Pine, so I'm paying it too. It's wrong, and it needs to be done away with. SB 17, a Ted Gaines bill, I will be co-authoring, which does just that. So we'll be fighting the fight for us moving forward into this next year.
Okay, so it's moving forward with legislation, and it's also it's in the courts as well?
Yes.
Okay. And water, talk about water. Where are we with what? By the way, what committees do you sit on?
Oh, geez, I sit on agriculture. I sit on GO, which is all the gambling, and that's all the alcohol. That's a big, all the racing, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm on human services. I'm on, gosh, what else am I on? I've got about 5 or 6 different committees, so they keep us busy.
Okay, water, big issue now with the possibilities of Delta. What is there?
Yeah, the Delta water bond, it will be a major talking point in this session. Met with the governor just this last week asking about water, and he wants to do big things. We've got some concerns. We spent 10 years putting that bond together. There was a couple $2 billion in pork at the end of the day, fair and square. This legislature wants to open that bond back up. I think it's bad policy, but I think it's going to happen anyway. And listen, if we open this bond up and just cut out the fat and keep that policy from where it's at, I'm good with it. And I think we'd get it under $10 billion. Whether or not that's going to happen, there'll be a lot of moving parts here in the next few months on that.
Can I ask you what you mean by saying when they open the bond back up? Does this mean that we already have funding, or this is already
No,
partway?
we voted on it a couple years ago.
Okay.
Since then, there's been a turnover in a lot of the legislative seats. They want to be able to pass it. They feel like they have to get it under $10 billion, so they want to open it back up and renegotiate it. And that has a lot of pitfalls. We had the water rights for up here, and all in Northern California was a 2-year fight for us.
Okay.
Continuous appropriations, so which means dams were in stone. We had $3 billion, and when something was spent for environmental projects, we got our money for dams. This current legislative body, we are concerned if they open it up, they're going to want to take the money away from this up above storage, and that concerns us. So you know what, we'll see. I think the governor's going to be with us on this one, and it's going to be a real interesting fight.
Okay. Now, what about the side for water in the Mono side? Just to hear a little bit about your district. Where is that water still fought for Los Angeles?
Well, yes, that's an ongoing battle down there with Mono Lake and stuff. But they are, it's completely restored now. And the one thing that our forefathers got right, whiskey's for drinking and water's for fighting. And I've found that to be true in the Senate and my whole career up in Sacramento.
Okay. Now, do you have any bills that you're currently working on?
Yeah, we got a number of them. I'll be reintroducing the middle theft bill that I got passed 844 about 4 or 5 years ago. The bad guys have figured ways around this thing. It needs some tightening up, so we will be back in with metal theft. Flex work week, if a little bit different spin on the flexible work week. My bill has, if the employees go to the employer and say, we would like to put in 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day to spend more time with our family, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think that if we can do that and get government a little bit out of our way and just let us live our lives, we'd all be a lot better off. I've got a CEQA, I'm part of SRA, as we mentioned, repealing that. We've got a fishing license bill that how many times do we go out there, we buy a license, and then a week later we got to buy another one. My bill would have it that you buy one license and it's good for a full 12 months. So we're doing that, and we will be fighting. We've got a lot of bad gun laws, in my opinion, that are coming down the pike, and so we will be doing our best to defeat bad legislation as much as try to get good legislation through.
Let me ask you, where's the state currently on dredging for gold in rivers, the small dredges for divers?
Right now, we can still do it, but that will probably be a recurring bill. They seem like they bring that back every year, and they try to take that ability away from us. I think, and we've been in these hearings also. I think it's actually good for the fish habitat because all of a sudden you're getting more gravel and stuff for the spawning. But that's
when they clean it off, they remove a lot of the
sediment,
dust sediment from it. Okay. Now, Dan Jorgensen, who's sitting over there,
yes, he is.
He's been here for a long time here in Amador County. Used to be aide with Senator Gaines, and also David Cox.
Yes.
And now he's helping you out here. Is that how we get a hold of you? Do we get a hold of you in your office? How?
You can get if anybody's got a pen or pencil out there, I can give you a number, 223-9140. It's Jackson Civic Center on Broadway is our district office.
Okay. Quickly now, do you get a lot of people from the district here give you calls? Or give
Absolutely.
Calls?
Well, I tell you, it all depends on the bill packages that are up right now. But we will let you know as controversial bills get up there, so people will have the opportunity to go up and sit in on hearings, and if they want to have a public comment at the end of those hearings, that's certainly possible.
Okay. Really
All
nice
right.
meeting you, and good luck representing us, and good luck to us as well. And stay with us right here on TSPN.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.
Hi, everyone. Tom Slivick, and welcome back. And Senator Berryhill would like to say something about an earlier comment he made. Go ahead, Senator.
Yeah, I'd like to clarify. Actually, I was incorrect. you can't dredge now. And so we want to make sure to make that perfectly clear out there, or my office was going to get a whole bunch of calls. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to let you know that it has been banded, and that did happen a couple years ago, actually, in my committee.
Okay, and because I know that there's a lot of people that are anxious to get dredging once again. Do we have a quick time for a quick look at our weather? Let's take a quick look. Once again, beautiful sunny day. It looks like we've got some blue coming our way later in the week, but today's sunny high 60, low of 38, winds out of the west 5 to 7. Wednesday, sunny high 61, low of 40, winds out of the northwest 5 miles an hour. And on Thursday, sunny high 64 with a low of 42. Air quality index report good today, and it'll be moderate tomorrow at 65. You can burn, make sure it's a burn day. Give them a call, 223-6246. I'm Tom Slivick, and I'd like to thank you for watching TSPN today, and be sure to watch us tomorrow when I'll be talking to Supervisor Dick Glock, and that's going to be a very interesting discussion there with Supervisor Dick Glock. So stay with us here on TSPN.